were clear since 1999. They were defeated in Lagos by Labour Party. They were defeated in Port Harcourt. They were defeated in Abuja. So the people can do it. What the people need to do is that, they have brazenly disrespected us. They have shown that our voice don't matter. Can we mobilize on election day and stop being indifferent to vote counting? We cast our vote and also secure that vote and make sure the vote counts. The people are in the majority. I say it anytime. I was at the polling unit in my local government in 2023. The security agency couldn't do anything because we mobilized heavily and were there. Yes, they virtually rigged the election because we couldn't get in. But a statement was made. And because some of us did not know that those people will go that extreme. So today we know they will go extreme like what they did in 2023. So we should be prepared for the extreme measures of protecting our vote and defending it, like they said.
So it is now going to be how many people can, pay APC back in their own coin. How many of you are willing to stay when they are thugs, supported by backed by the police or the army? Depends on which of them they send to your location, right? Once their thugs begin to shoot, how many people will be willing to shoot back? Because it can be that much before any result is written on any election result paper at all. There are so many things that will happen during the day. So then there's so many ways they also rig election. And it's right. In 2023, the system got shaken to to its foundation. They didn't expect what happened in 2023 to actually happen that way. And they said it then that it will never happen again. They will never make such mistake again. Like they said it openly. Some of them, that whatever you saw in 2023 is a fluke. It will never happen again. They were sure of that. And they are working to make sure that it never, but yeah, it's not different from when they were bragging just before the 2023. So, but they still succeeded in rigging and declaring call. Now that they are in charge of all of these security apparatuses, do you have the number to stand up against their thugs? I'm just saying, for those of you who want to participate in their charade, National Association of Nigerian Students, I got something from them. We'll come back to that. So, pretty much all of that is on their 2026 Electoral Act amendments. Let's go to the El-rufai story. Okay. I've got an announcement to make, but I just don't know when it's actually suitable for me to punch it in. But remind me before the end of the program that I have an announcement to make. This past few days, El-rufai has been in the news, especially since the day he returned back from Cairo. He's dropped several bombshells, including wiretapping or listening to the calls of the National Security Advisor, as well as raising an alarm by asking questions from the same National Security Advisor's office of importation of some toxic, dangerous substance. So he's been invited by the EFCC and he's been released. They are yet to charge him for anything. The following day, on the same day, the DSS filed the charges against him: cybercrime, spying, illegal wiretapping, blah, blah, blah. So unusually, right, before DSS can take anybody to court, it is in their own statute that they needed to actually invite the person. They had to investigate the person. So then before you take them to court, he is not being invited by the DSS. So last night, it was reported that they arrested him in his Abuja home. Since then, he's been with them until this morning, when the news now said DSS handed him over to ICPC. And meanwhile, there is no record of his own issue with the ICPC yet. That means they are yet to tell all of us what is told again that ICPC is interested in. We understand why the DSS would want him anytime soon. I'm sorry, would want him in court. We do not know what or why the ICPC is urging him. But here is somebody who is from his own side speaking for him. El-rufai, the Kaduna little thing.
If El-rufai decided to join APC now, the case will die. Just like that. The same thing goes to Malami. Where is Malami now? Still in DSS detention.
But like I pointed out, Okowa joined APC and that hasn't killed his case. Ngige is still in APC. He's still dealing with his own case.
Where are they?
Yeah, Bello is still dealing with his own case, isn't it?
But
so it's safe to say that that argument doesn't hold water.
But they are all at home enjoying themselves.
I mean, because of a court process that granted them bail, isn't it?
It was after the case that Okowa decided to join APC. After the EFCC invited him.
And the case is still on.
It doesn't matter. But he's at home now flexing.
Are you guaranteeing that former Governor El-rufai Okowa will be a free man, will be exonerated, and it's not because there is no case against him, but because he is a part of the APC?
Technically, as we speak, he is a free man because he is in APC now. The only reason why El-rufai and Malami are being targeted is because they're in ADC. If they choose to join the APC tomorrow, this case will go.
But to be fair, there is less than the people on the platform of the ADC or part of the coalition who are currently facing some kind of probe or legal cases tied to corruption or money laundering or whatever the case may be, are less than 1% of the people that make up the ADC. So it's not like everybody in ADC is under investigation.
Yeah, they have their targets. The master plan of bringing Tinubu to power was who? El-rufai. So now El-rufai is the main target. He knows how El-rufai play his politics, and he knows how many votes El-rufai helped him to get from the north. Nobody supported Tinubu better than El-rufai in the north. So now this is the fear. Somebody that have helped me win election is now against me. How can I slow him down? And then go back to Malami, the same thing. So all these people, these are people that are all from the northwest. The northwest produce about almost 52 to 53% of Nigerian votes. That's why we have the massive votes that comes from Nigerian election, presidential election. So whatever they want to do, let them do. We are not afraid. And we are not lazy, and we are not tired, and we have to go, we have to do the right thing this time around. So ADC, we are fully prepared. You know, people used to say then that INEC have to conduct a free and fair election. 2027 is not going to be like that. It is a must for INEC to run a free and fair election.
So they are promising Tinubu that whatever plan is got in 2027, Tinubu will be a one-term president. OTP. That's what they call it in that part of northern Nigeria. They are making him realize that if he's surrounding himself, which he's done, like he surrounded himself with all these Lagos men and all these Lagos city boys and all that, while those who did the groundwork, the real groundwork for him, especially in northern Nigeria, have been rubbished in that sense. Somebody like El-rufai, the Kaduna little finger. Meanwhile, the other people who are like the praise singers of Kolu from northern Nigeria are letting him know that it doesn't really have that kind of political relevance. So that's the El-rufai. They said El-rufai doesn't have any political relevance because even in Kaduna, APC lost. Tinubu lost Kaduna. So what is his relevance? That Tinubu should ignore him and deal with him, possibly to neutralize him. And that's the defense of those who are his own supporters. Sorry, that light. That's the defense of his own supporters. It is not really about what he's done. And that's what you always get as well, about Nigeria, corruption, and the corrupt public officials. The Nigeria's whataboutism. What about that one? What about this one? When indeed, more than 98% of your public officials in Nigeria should actually be serving jail time or waiting for the hangman's news, like ordinarily. So what about that one? Or it's because it's not with them. I say, okay, fine. They're targeting because it's not with them. Okay, fine. What about what he stole? How much did he steal? What about other people that stole as well? So what about that too? So it is like a Nigerian thing. haven't seen that anywhere else. Let's do a throwback when the going was good. That Chatham House talking about Tinubu said team sheep. It's a throwback.
This is democracy, and we have half an hour for some proper conversation now, including some questions both from inside the hall here, but we have many thousands of people watching us on live stream. So welcome if you're on Zoom and on Facebook Live. Mr. Tinubu, I'm going to take questions in threes, so please just, we'll keep track of them, but so we get reasonable number of questions in. So the lady just there, please, yes, you, yeah, madam, please go ahead. Second question.
Right, can I sit or stand?
Stand up, then people can see you, please.
Right, good
Thank
afternoon
you.
all. Your Excellency, wonderful. The question I wanted to ask, you have touched on briefly. My name, first of all, is Baroness Tinuke Davis Kensington. I'm a Nigerian. You've touched on security, very important issue in Nigeria. But you've not told us how you're going to manage this. We'd like you to tell us how you will manage security in Nigeria. And second part of my question, there's loads of kidnapping of women and girls in Nigeria, rape of our young children in Nigeria. Can you tell us, Your Excellency, how this will be managed? Thank you.
Thank you very much for being very precise. Mr. Tinubu, we had many questions coming in live stream about how you're going to combat terrorism and violence against women, including from Bolupi Omosori. If you would like to answer the questions, Mr. Tinubu. Please, if we can keep quiet and one conversation here. Thank you. Go ahead.
Let me once demonstrate here. One of those philosophers I wanted doctrine that I believe firmly in is teamship, unbreakable team. To demonstrate that, I will choose the first question, assign it to Dele Alake.
Okay.
And the second question, assign to Nasiru El-rufai. And third question, assigned to Ben Ayade.
All right, so can we have a microphone coming in the front? El-rufai, please, go ahead.
Your Excellencies, my friend, Mr. Alex Vines, ladies and gentlemen. Security has been a big issue in Nigeria in the last few years, and that has affected not only rural economies, but agricultural production, commerce, and everything else. The Bola Tinubu administration will address these challenges, or whatever remains of it, after the efforts of this administration in at least 3 ways. First, policing. Nigeria has about 300,000 policemen for a population of over 200 million. We need at least twice that number. That will be achieved by amending the Constitution so that policing can be at federal, state, and even at community level. With increased security footprint, there will be less and less of criminal activity. The second step is to look at our armed forces and security architecture. Nigerian armed forces are not more than 200,000 in size, the Army, Navy, the Air Force. While some countries are even looking at a space military, we are struggling with just less than 200,000 members of the armed forces for a country with a population of 200 million plus. The numbers, the equipment, the skills and the training of the armed forces will be scaled up, will be increased rapidly to meet the asymmetric nature of the security challenges that we face. Because today, the armed forces are not fighting with other countries, they are fighting with non-state actors, and the doctrine, the training, the numbers must change. And the Bola Tinubu administration already has a blueprint which is embedded in our action plan to address this. We'll scale up the numbers of the armed forces, we'll ramp up not only the numbers but the training and equipment. In Nigeria in 1967, the total size of the Nigerian army was only 10,000. Because of the civil war, within a year, we ramped it up to 250,000. So it can be done. And
we will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt. I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
So that was nearly 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, or should I say nearly 3.5 years ago. Chatham House in London, when El-rufai had to bail Kalu out. But guess what? There's a community in Kebbi. There's a community called Tunga, Kebbi. It is in Kebbi State, where the people, after the attacks by these Boko Haram being a Fulani terrorists, the survivors were mulling themselves together to leave another ghost town on record. It's in Kebbi State. This will be the 4th one in a week.
To ɗum westana ko zana fuɗa ko yanka dan shi bisa ga wahala na so so
babu sa kunya asalin mu shaka kamba kashi da ba gudu da kace babu mu ta tono asalin ga guru ta ka ci kashi le babu na ta ku fodo mu sai ke ni ban ka to shi ke na ban ka to shi ke na na ta kunya duka sai zakin da babu to shi ke ban ka to shi ya na ta kamba ga guru ka tuwo gwamnati da bakin haka suna na sai su ko su rika haba o kashi da babu gwamnati bankatu zaman kambul katu babu na takuwa haba soba
to wani meshmene mai kutuko gwamnati idashi ubanka tu koko de na hannun yastu to yayi kula ku gwamnaka yayi kula ku ni ya ba goda yemman shi ubanka de koko de to shugaban kasta na zuwa kuke ko dai faɗi bini to yayi kula ku shugaban kaska to idi ya ku shigo banka su To. Tun wan ɗili nan fi gitangi.
Bana shekara 2.
To.
Muna cikin daji.
Aya ya ɗaya anna tsakani aya ya ɗaya daga lale kutu ana aya ya ɗaya umanan fu afa ma a kutura saka kamba. Ana aya toli. To.